Hey everybody, what's going on? Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to do this video or not, but I still think it should be done. Now, the Star Wars Haslab has finally ended. The gunship is over. It has finished with 9,760 backers, and their target goal was 800. Now, it didn't hit any tiers, so this is what you're getting, everything you see on the screen right now. When it comes down to all the Star Wars ones that have funded, this one is the one that has actually done worse. And you can actually see, and I don't think it's to do with Hasbro or anything. Well, when it comes down to it, LucasArts has a lot of say on what companies actually do, what they use, what they're putting forth. So this might have been more of a LucasArts film or Lucas than actually Hasbro coming forth and saying, hey, this is what we want to do. Just because Lucasfilms has a very tight leash on anybody who uses their products. Even when it comes to Disney, they have more artistic control than what Disney actually wants. It's actually in their contracts. But when it comes to a Haslab, this one is also the least performing Haslab that has funded. I mean, they have had failures. Star Wars has had 2 failures while Marvel Legends has had 1. But one thing I don't quite get is how come Star Wars keeps getting the ability to have Haslabs, but the Marvel Legends team doesn't, which is weird to me. But you can see a trend just in the past Haslabs that Star Wars have done where you have the Ghost with the most, not the most overall, but they had 21,680 backers for their project, which was the Ghost, which was only $500 more expensive than the gunship, but it also had 50% more plastic used than the gunship. And then you have the Cantina. The Cantina was last year's, and it had 14,773, which you just see that number going down. And now with not today's, but this year's at 9,776, which honestly, this looks like you can see the dwindling of the fandom. I honestly think that's the reason why it did so poorly, is just people aren't invested in Star Wars like they used to. Now, again, I don't think this should have been a Haslab. This should have just been its own thing. And I do think the price for this is absurd. Even when you look at a couple of months ago how much this Toys R Us exclusive was selling for, you could find the Toys R Us exclusive a couple of months ago before they announced this Kickstarter for around $250 to $300. Now it's skyrocketed mostly because of this campaign, but if you wait a couple of months, the price is going to drop again. It always does. And then by the time this thing comes out, the Toys R Us one is probably going to be a lot cheaper. This one's probably going to be the same price. It'll be when it finally comes out, the prices will be up probably about $600, and then it'll start to drop. Because honestly, the people that back this are probably the ones that own toy stores, like the Toy Federations, the mom and pop ones, and also just resellers. I don't see a lot of people who actually back this that are collectors. I mean, they are out there, don't get me wrong, but a lot of this is the resellers. But hopefully Hasbro and Lucasfilms can come together to figure out what they should do moving forward, because I'm pretty sure they're going to get another Haslab, because for some reason the Star Wars team always does. Hopefully they can come up with something better to offer, which they had options. I mean, this is from the Clone Wars, Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones. That's a major fandom, especially with, I don't want to say the younger age group, but definitely that Star Wars fan base. The prequels have become very popular within the last decade. So, yeah. I mean, this is what a lot of people grew up with, so of course they want it. But there's so many other things they could have done than a gunship, since we already technically had those. because I know from a business standpoint, even after this backed, it's not really a win because they still probably got a talking to by their higher ups of why this didn't perform as well, why it didn't hit the tiers, because it is a corporation. Corporations don't look at stuff like this a win. They want to make as much money as possible, and this wasn't making as much money as possible. So I know they're going to get a talking to. But anybody who did back this, I hope you enjoy it. I'm not trying to say, well, I do think this, to me, it wasn't worth the price. That's what I'm saying. It's nowhere near worth the price to me, especially what they're offering or what they offered. But again, anybody who got it, I hope they like it. Everybody should just collect what they want. At the end of the day, that's whatever makes you happy, you should get. But anyways, guys, life is tough. Enjoy the little things.
Figures lined up on the shelf. Jesse's breaking boxes by himself. He ain't gentle, nah, he ain't nice. Ripping open dreams just to slice the price. Hey, hey, watch him fly.